Imagine if you could combine Claude Code with Google's #1 design agent, Stitch. This brand new update lets you turn Claude Code into an AI design agent that can research, ideate, and build beautiful apps and websites without the need to be a design expert, but only if you know how to do it properly. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to combine Stitch with Claude Code and anti-gravity so you can build beautiful designs faster than everybody else and get light years ahead of your competitors. And if you didn't know who I am, my name is Jack Roberts. I'm in the UK right now, but I built and sold my last tech startup with over 60,000 customers, and now I run a very profitable AI automation business. So if you haven't already, grab that coffee and let's dive straight in. Now, Stitch is Google's #1 design agent. And when you combine that with Claude Code, you unlock very cool new capabilities. You can build beautiful websites and wonderful, gorgeous apps. Now, Stitch is all about designing visually. We can build beautiful websites through prompting, through different strategies we come a channel. But the idea of Stitch is that you can visually see things, edit them, and generate them from a visual point of view. There are also so many new features that have just come out. It is now powered by the world's best design model, Gemini 3.1. It can find ideas for you. You can basically say to it something like, find me, as you can see right here, for example, find me the top 3 websites, the top 3 coffee websites on the planet, and then it will design you on based on what they have, their images, and exactly everything that's working for them. You can edit text dynamically. So you no longer have to say, hey, do this, do this. You can, within the visual interface, edit the text and information there. Now, you can do this within Claude Code and also anti-gravity in an unbelievably easy way. Your agent will actually enhance a design prompt that you wouldn't normally get just using Stitch by itself. You can build these programmatically, in other words, as many as you want to for your specific brand guidelines. You can edit screens, you can generate different variations, you can even achieve visual consistency across all of your designs within Stitch. And with anti-gravity, it is as simple as a one-click install. And we also have several new skills with the Google official MCP. We have also a design MD that will scan any project that we build to get a design architecture, a design blueprint that we can replicate across anything. Of course, we've got the Stitch Loop, which allows you essentially to build out multiple screens for your app, your website, without you even having to be involved in the entire process. The Stitch Loop, if you don't know, is just autonomous multi-page generation. Claude builds one screen. It almost passes a baton file to itself to go and complete the rest of them. We've got enhanced prompt, which will improve the quality of the prompt for your websites and apps. We've got Shading UI that bridges Stitch designs into shading components with the best practices based in. And then we've got Remotion if you want to walk through video from Stitch screens with zooms. Ultimately, then, we have a full pipeline from ideation, design, system build, and then deploy. Now, to get the most out of this connection between Stitch and Claude Code and anti-gravity, I'm first going to explain some of the brand new features that exist within Stitch. And when we understand that, we can take your designs for your websites and your apps to a completely new level. Now, when you come over to stitch.withgoogle.com, our journey begins. Now, the first new feature I want to put on your radar, because it's very cool, is this idea of ideation. So to do this, you're going to come down here to ideate, okay? So you can click on this. Now, of course, you can always ideate with the model. This just makes it, in my view, easier and it's a little bit more visual. So I could say something like, hey there, I'm looking to start my own SaaS. What I'd like you to do is do some market research and find out 3 SaaS companies. Give me 3 different designs for a SaaS pricing page. Again, it could be anything. It could be, give me 3 different ideas for, I don't know, what color scheme should I have for my business? My business is about ABC. So think of this as a place to throw out your ideas, your questions. If you're thinking, I kind of want to design for this thing, but I'm not really sure what it should look like, feel free to spitball and ideate. Direct conversations with models aren't amazing at this normally, because the cool thing about Stitch is it will throw back at you 3 different designs that you can then pick, select, and go deeper with. And then once you've done that, basically we'll come back with 3 different options. The minimalist utility, inspired by Stripe Notion. And so I'm going to say, dude, they all sound great. I would like all 3, please. Just generate me 3 different visuals for me to choose from. And so now we've asked it to proceed. It's come up with 3 different strategies. It's done all the research, which is wonderful. You can come down and take a quick look at everything it said, typography, interactions, ROI calculator. Look at the level and depth it's got here, guys. Really, really cool. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, sounds great. I'd like to design an example for all 3 of them. And then what we want to do as well is just highlight all of them like so. So all 3 are selected, then click off and send it off. Now, but you might want to wait a few minutes while it goes ahead and does this. This is more of think of it as a sniper. You're really trying to get something decent and some sort of quality that's been thoroughly researched with a very clear strategy. I mean, even if you click into this one, for example, right? Product overview for design and direction, screens, key workflows, user as on plans overview, color palette, typography. All very, very cool design tokens. It's gone into a lot of specifics to help the model gauge to build something really cool. And just like that, based on all the design guidelines, we have 3 different options. We've got this pink and black one, which is pretty cool, right? Look at this. We've got all this information in, complete upgrade. That's cool. Second one here, this is a kind of Times newspaper field, price to tailored to ambition. And this is all based on research. I think this is really cool. And welcome to professional, very, very decent. And then we have this one here, right? Choose a plan, different options, and you can do essentially whatever you want to. Now, let's say, for example, that we like the style of this one, but I want to change from the text. I can come down here, click on this, click on modify, click on edit, and I can click on this and say pricing tailored to desire. And I can change the text directly on anything I want to. What I can also do here, if I wish, is I can highlight a page and click on this and say, hey, create me a landing page for this. Whatever I want to do, right? Really cool. So now it's in that style. And this is how Stitch works. Obviously, the idea being that you stitch things together to build out page by page. And as you can see, what it's done is it's got a, when you want to buy it, this pops up. Great. And then a dashboard. So it just gives us the ability to edit things in your app, in your website, page by page. So if I like welcome to professional, maybe I'm like, actually, dude, can we have confetti on this page, please? And let's just give it a little bit more of a warmth to it. So some kind of image and improve the graphic on here, please. Exactly the same thing, right? I can kind of pick different things and change it and amend it and design it kind of like basically section by section, which you can't do in a standard builder. And as you can see, I just want to call out that you can have multiple different queries working at the same time. You don't get kind of logger jammed behind one thing, then you're waiting, then you go again, which I think is a great feature. And then we can come back and we can see that it's actually built with architectural precision, right? So this has gone a little bit too large. So we can click on this, we can modify it, we can edit it, we can do various different things. It's great that we have the ability just to literally edit the text as we want to. There we go. Okay, so this is a certain size. You can edit with AI and you could say, if you wanted to, something like, hey dude, could you just decrease the size of a text so it fits in like basically one word, one line, please. Again, you can make these little mini edits as you go about, no problem whatsoever. And again, it's built it with the exact same style. So you can build out all this sort of stuff, which is awesome. And then essentially it'll go ahead and do those individual changes for us. So the idea is that we would just pick one of these 3 styles that we like and we can build out the entire website. But what we can do next with the latest image generation model is literally amazing. Now, the next thing that you can do within Stitch, which is really important for you to understand, is redesign. Now, this is fantastic. So if you come down here, you can select redesign. So what this does is leverage the powerful Nano Banana 2 to make anything we want to. We can find a website we think is cool. Let's say it's Rocket. We can come over, drop the URL in, come over here and grab a screenshot like so, and then just clipboard this, come back over to Stitch and drop it in. I'm going to say something like, I would like you to redesign this for me, an entire website based on this URL. So the beautiful image at the top, and then we may want things on there like testimonials, companies we work with, how it all works together, FAQs, and then a CTA and a beautiful chat interface at the bottom. Wonderful. Okay. And at this point, you can make any suggestions you want to. And maybe you didn't grab an existing website, right? Maybe you were on a website like Dribbble and you wanted to find out existing design inspiration by searching for websites. Wherever the place is, drop your designs in, as many as you want, come over here, and then literally go off and click on redesign. Now, one of the cool things here about leveraging Nano Banana to do this is we're not asking an AI to build the website. It's literally generating a gorgeous, beautiful image, which has a way better reference point for us to build from than just trying to build up the website with code, which should mean that we should get a better quality output on our first time. Wonderful. And it's come back now with a mobile design. So come check this out. Think it, type it, launch it. We've got these different companies we work with, describe how it works, testimonials. Then we've got this chat style interface. I think that is gorgeous. Like that kind of fantastic, kind of like celestial background. Obviously some bits we'd need to move around a little bit, but think of it as a concept art that kind of captures the essence of what you're trying to say. Then we've got some FAQs. And quick FYI, by the way, you can decide whether you want app or web on the homepage here. I chose app for that one, hence why we've got an app type design. And then I did one for you on desktop. So this was the original image. I didn't ask it to change anything, hence why it's not done anything. But you can see it's recreated this. We have this trusted by innovators, loved by builders, which is, I think, a really beautiful touch. Probably bring those logo size down a little bit, how Rocket works. And then we've got this, I think, gorgeous FAQ section and then something at the bottom. And if I show you one I did earlier, think it, type it, launch it. Again, really gorgeous. Love these logos. Love these kind of interactive elements. And also the design of this is fantastic. It's essentially an imagination engine. Now this is complete, I'll show you exactly how you can take this to a completely new level by using Claude Code and how easy it is to get it into anti-gravity. So once you're in anti-gravity, it's super easy. I'll show you this first, then how you can get it into Claude Code, whether you're using VS Code or anything you want to. All you're going to do is come over here to these dots, click on MCP service. And if you just type in simply Stitch, and this is one of the cool things about using Google products is how they're sort of all integrated with one another. You click on Stitch, and all you're going to do is click on install. Like that's it. It's asking for an API key. We might need that. So we're going to click on Stitch API key. And then once you're on this page, guys, you're going to come down and click on copy key. I should also call out, by the way, that your daily redesign credits, you got 15 a day just because it's a brand new feature and they just want to make sure that they're bottling everything up properly. But you run into that as you build quite aggressively. So 15 a day is cool. And then you come back over to anti-gravity and enter your API key in here. But once that's complete, if you come onto Manage MP Service, and then when you click on Refresh, you'll see Stitch will appear here for you on the left-hand side with all the different things that you can do. Now, if you were trying to install this on Claude Code, all you would do is on the left-hand side, come over to, if you like, extensions, and make sure you've installed this Claude Code, but for VS Code, like so. Just type in Claude and it will appear. Then when you've installed that, we're going to summon it up by double-clicking in the central panel, and you'll see this orange thing. And then it's there. And now essentially we can start chatting to Claude Code to get this installed. And then to add this to Claude Code, all you're going to do is enter in this basically code here, which is Claude MCP add transport. I'll put this down below for you in the description. So hit enter with that. And then it will add it to your Claude MCP. And then Claude can now go ahead and use that. We say that's fine. Then we'll just need to provide to it the same API key that we did with anti-gravity. And then you can provide your API key with Claude. We'll add it to your configuration. And from that point, you can chat with it in Claude. You can chat with it in anti-gravity or whatever environment that you're using it in. So what we need to do then is really install these skills for MCP. So we're going to come over to this GitHub repo here, which has got all the really cool things we can do. This is a Google official one. What we're going to do is come and grab the code, click on copy, come back over to anti-gravity and Claude. I'm going to say, hey there, I would like you to add these skills, please. And essentially it's going to come down and then we're going to enter that in right there and it'll just basically replicate those. Once again, we can also use a Claude Code. It really depends on whichever manner in which you're using the Claude Code. All right, wonderful. So let's actually test it that it knows it's got a real thing. So let's open it up right now into a new browser and say, hey there, dude, could you just tell me what the latest design was that I created in Stitch? So once we know it gets and answers question, we know it's fully connected. And just like that, it's come back and confirmed that the latest design we have is Rocket AI chat interface with a project ID when it was last updated and everything that works, which is freaking amazing. Now, the first thing that we want to do is get what we call a design.md. So when you've been in Stitch and you've designed something, you think, Jack, I think this looks gorgeous. Maybe it's this design. Maybe it's this design over here with this gorgeous, beautiful, whatever the thing is, play around with it, get creative. When you've got that, what effectively you want to do now is get the design MD, which is the blueprint, the design blueprint of this, that we can actually codify the style. Now, I asked Stitch to turn all of these things here into a landing page for us, okay? Now, these are images. You see, if I modify, I can annotate, or what I can do on the canvas is like, maybe I want to get rid of these trees. I can just say, hey, remove these trees. Or I might want to hire this rocket and I can say something like, make this bigger, right? You get the idea. I get to do whatever I need to here, right? I can draw comments. I can even draw further on here. Let's just come over here and draw this guy up. It's really cool. You can make all these really cool changes if you want to. So I can come down here, maybe leave a little note as well, shall we here? Just say something like, I don't know, make bigger. Who doesn't want to make the rocket bigger, right? And if I click on apply, then once you've designed everything to the standard that you like, what you want to basically do is come down and ask it, I would like it to create for me a design.md based on those designs. And then what this will do is call the Stitch MCP, list the screens, find them. Then it will fetch the HTML code from the main page to extract actual design tokens and also get the project level metadata. And what this will enable you to do for your clients, for your business, is replicate any of those pages in the exact same style that you would like. So it's all going to be consistent. And then just like that, now we've actually created now with Claude is this wonderful breakdown. And again, you can do this in the anti-gravity chat. You could do this in VS Code. You could do this anywhere. The point is that we're using the model to go ahead and build this stuff. So we've got primary project ID, and then we've got the visual theme and atmosphere, the color palette, the roles, all the sort of stuff that we like, which is really cool. So what we can now do is actually ask anti-gravity, ask Claude Code to go ahead and build us an additional page. So let's go ahead and check the page to see what would make sense. Well, what I'm going to do, guys, is I actually bring out the Gemini 3 Pro High because it's got Nano Banana native to it. I'm going to say, hey there, dude, what I'd like you to do is redesign the images so that they are a kind of Ghibli, beautiful art style. I think that'd be really great. And then in the same style, what I'd like to do is go ahead and add for me a pricing section on the page and then show me what that web page looks like. Beautiful. So now this is complete and it's all done. Let's see what it said it's done. Generated the new images. added a pricing section. And if you refresh the browser or open this up, we can see it. So let's grab this HTML and see what she's up to. Beautiful. So then we'll check it out. We've got it here. Think it, type it, launch it. We've got the Ask Me Anything, which is cool. We've got the frameworks here, trusted by these companies, one prompt, the whole app. I love the design of these. This is gorgeous. Some people try it. We've got the templates, happiness speaks, backend, are you ready? We've got some different toggles we can play around with here. Sample pricing, so it's added in the pricing section. FAQs, this is pretty sweet, actually, quite like that. And then here we go, start building now, production ready apps. I think the highlight really is the visual imagery of this website, which I think is just super crisp. And the cool thing is, guys, what we can do now, once we get that style and design that we really like, we can actually create a brand new chart and say, hey, I want an exact same style. I want you to go over and create a new Stitch book for a SaaS company that is selling VPN subscriptions. And if you're wondering how I got on this page, it's just plugging between Open Editor and over here to Agent Manager. That's it. And on the left-hand side, we can see everything to do. So here's the redesigning rocket images and creating VPN. Effectively in anti-gravity, we can manage multiple of these at the exact same time. And then if I wanted to publish this on a website, all I would literally do is let's come over to Start Conversation. We're going to go to Stitch, which is where all this stuff is happening. Then I'm just going to say something like, hey there, publish this to GitHub and Vercel. And if you don't have a connection to GitHub and Vercel, you can basically just say, hey, connect me to the GitHub CLI, and it'll open a brand new page. You enter in your credentials, and then Vercel is just a website. Basically, it's a website that lets us host the code that lives on GitHub, and we can give that code to Anti-Gravity and Claude, and it'll walk you through the process, and then we can essentially host it up, which means when we give it this very simple command, it will open up and log us in. If you're unsure how to that process, I'm going to link up on screen. It takes like 3-4 minutes. It's dead straightforward. Now, as you can see, guys, it's now also started creating this new thing. And look at what it's done here, guys. It's given it the full prompt based on our exact style. So it's got dark, modern, futuristic aesthetic. Here's all the information it's given it. Now Stitch is doing this for us automatically in the background. We didn't even touch Stitch. I just went over to it, and you can see this has all been prompted by Claude based on our existing designs, meaning we can spin up as many of these as we want to, as many pages in our existing websites and apps as we want, just by prompting it, and we'll get the same kind of consistency using Stitch. And when I do check out the app, I'm really impressed by the interactivity that it's managed to smash. The coolest thing I think of this entire workflow when I come over to Stitch is realistically the ability to build things. Like this is the one that I said, hey, rebuild it in this particular style, and it's doing this for this VPN thing, which I think is really cool. Now, understanding how to build beautiful websites is amazing, but it's only one part of a multi-part system for building out systems on websites, whether you want to sell it or scale your own business, connect your CRM. There's so many other things that are important to know, and we can learn those by watching this video right here.